Alright, now we're going to do the back of the shirt. For this you're going to need a piece of pattern paper. And I'm going to do a full back just like I did a full back yoke. Okay, we're going to do a full back as well. So you need kind of a larger, wider piece of pattern paper. So you'll need a piece of pattern paper, your back sloper, and then the back working pattern that we made. Okay, so let's put the working pattern aside for just a moment. For this, there's not a lot we're going to do to the back. Obviously, we got to take in the side seam at a quarter and bring this down at intersection of center back and hip. All right, and we're chopping off some for the yoke, which we've done all that to our working pattern, so we're not worried about doing that now. But we're actually going to be adding in a pleat for movement and for alteration if needs be. Okay, so let's go ahead and give ourselves a placement line here. Let's do it right here, should be good. And this will be our center back. Okay, so let's go ahead and trace off our back sloper. Place center back against that center back line. There we go. And I don't need to trace off everything like neckline. I can just, here's a mark I did 3 inches down so I know where my yoke starts. So obviously I don't need to trace off center back because I already have the placement line there. But I'm going to mark my balance lines, come across the hem, do side seam, mark waist, and let's do armhole as well. And make sure I get all our notches. There we go. It's traced off. We can put that aside. And let's go ahead and draw in the balance lines. So we already have hips, so we'll do waist and chest. Here's waist. Okay, now we're going to take our working pattern and line up center back. Let's center back. And those balance lines. Okay, that looks good. Let's transfer on our side seam. And where we extended the hem of our shirt. And up here where we removed our yoke. Let's also transfer those 2 notches where the yoke will sew to the back. There we go. Put this aside down. Okay, so we can true this. Let's do side seam. Okay, this is center back. Now we're going to add a pleat to this. So I'm going to measure out 1 inch. Should be plenty big. And let's just add that all the way down. Okay. And so this is going to pleat in and then back. So that means I need to add another inch past there. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright. Now what's going to happen is that center back, this will pleat back towards us. So we're going to crease this line right here. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and crease the center line here. So, there we go. And now I'm going to fold it back at center back. It might be easier to fold this over and crease your center back line first. There we are. Now really the pleat's only going to be up here. We're not going to have it creased all the way down in the final shirt. Okay? It'll just be creased right up here where it attaches the yoke. But for accuracy right now, I want to have it creased. Okay? And now you can see this line lines up with center back again. Okay? What I'm going to do is flip this over so that while that's folded out, I can actually see through my paper the line where the yoke sews to. I'm going to transfer that through with my tracing wheel. And then same thing down here, transfer through the hem. I could even transfer through the balance lines, waist and chest, if I wanted. And I can open that back up now. There we are. I can see my markings. Let's go ahead and transfer them, or rather true them. There we are. And I'm going to extend these lines out to the end as well. Okay. Again, I'm going to make a full one of these. But first, I'm going to add seam allowance to this. I'll just do 1/2 inch all the way around, like I've done in everything else. Okay, here at this line, which when it's folded out lines up with center back, we don't need to add anything on because it's going to cut on the fold. Okay, now what we're going to do is cut this so it's one pattern piece. So right on this outside center back line, let's go ahead and fold our paper in half. Make sure we do it right on that line. There we are. Alright, to make it a little easier to cut, since this is such a much larger pattern, I'm going to go ahead and pin through both layers in a couple places just to keep the paper from shifting on me when I cut it out. Alright, that should be fine. Let's go ahead and cut it. Alright, there it's cut out. Before we take it apart, let's go ahead and notch. Transfer all these lines to the other side. Notice I'm also transferring my seam allowance as well. And wherever the pleat is folding. Okay, take this out. Alright, just so I can show you how this works, I'm going to go ahead and crease the other side, or just score through the other side right up here, so I can just fold this out easier. Okay. I also want to notch center back where it attaches to yoke, and at the bottom, the hem. You always like to know where those are. Okay, so there is my full back. We'll make this our grain line right here. Okay, and now I'll show you how this will work. So what happens is this side folds out like so. Let's put a pin in there. Okay, and this will do the same. I'm just going to fold this top edge. And I have my perforations right here, so it makes it easier for me to find out where to fold it. There we go. And again, in the real thing, we're not going to crease all the way down, just up here at the top for the first couple inches that we do it. We'll put a pin in there, hold it in place. Okay, so there's the back of it. Front. And then the yoke, center back would line up. And that would stitch right on, like so. Okay. And then we got extra room here for movement. Okay. So there it is, the back. Okay, so back. All right. Next we'll do the collar and stand.